moved away from the breach to the Sage. They've had a really good go with the Sageless compositions, but I think they had to concede that Sage is so good on this map that you can't really go without. Leodeds is forced away from the Silver to fill in onto the breach, and Angel, for the first time in a while, if not ever, I've seen him play the Omen instead of the Brimstone. So both these teams really bringing out some curveballs, and this is going to be a hell of an ending to not only this final, but the tournament in general.
Well, get hype, everyone. The gates open now for the first round of the Grand Finals. Map number 3, the decider that will decide it all, that will finish up this beautiful tournament. It's been 2 great days. 16 teams down to the top 2 now. And players moving over on towards different agents, over towards different roles. Angel will look towards moving into the B mail room. Finds a headshot to start things out with. He is potentially going to get flanked from his sides. Doesn't realize that there's one into ropes. Doesn't realize that Zapan is also very closely tucked in.
They're going to chip away here. Overall, PartyParrots have the better results when it comes to split. They've played more maps, but the win percentage is relatively similar, so that's why I've given them the advantage. But it is really close. In any case, one of them is going to harbour a loss on their stats, which you can check out at thespike.gg to keep up to date with all of the intel and statistics, and basically who's going to pog out the most when it comes to Shao versus Zipan. But right now it's neither of those that make the first dent in. It's a 4 versus 4. Shadow Laws is trying to chip away from distance, but the attackers are making headway and the plant should come in eventually.
Well, if you go to the spike.gg, you'll find that I'm going to pog out the most in terms of my excitement for what's going to happen on this final map. And already, the plant's going to come through middle, or at least make things interesting for one. It's not going to be enough, though. And despite losing Angel very early on, well traded by PartyParrots. You saw the movement over towards ramps as well. And A ramps heading into A tower. 2 members there to receive. Latex was trying to rotate through from the ropes room, taking control of the A site. 4 alive versus just the 1. Meadow drops 1 kill, but it's not enough. 5 players now upgraded onto SMGs. 1 pistol there for Angel and a Vandal actually for Shao, so he is looking to frag.
He is just going to be full steam ahead towards B, throw out the grenade, maybe catch somebody that's trying to aggressively flank, but actually that's going to be it. The paint chill is also thrown in onto mid from Zipan, but catches nobody. You can see how aggressively he's playing in this smoke now of the mail room on this right-hand side, and Latex isn't too far away with the shorty either. He's going to get flashed and pushed in by Angel, so a lot of space is made on mid, but they very much need to flush out where exactly Zipan is. They do. They've got mid control.
And now we're going to be making our way deeper into B tower. That was a spotted kill as well. Leodeds, his body was just barely revealed before the smoke really started to take hold, and that's going to deliver another kill over for PartyParrots, who will for sure plant on B. Now, it was a very rare opportunity for Fabriken to maybe get anything done with a minimal amount of purchases they had. In fact, no purchases, just free on towards the classics. 1 shorty for Shadow. Also, again, try something here. He doesn't matter whether he's playing Breach or not. It's the Breach player mindset that we're talking about here, Ryan. You got to buy the shotguns. Well, sometimes you got to lose the shotguns too, because he'll get nothing.
Split certainly isn't as defended-sided as it used to be, with more changes added into it too, I believe. So it's going to open up the map a little bit more. Fabriken feeling the brunt of that, I feel, on this defense, but nevertheless they can pick up the phantoms, pick up the armor, and need to prepare themselves for how PartyParrots are using this utility. It was near on perfect, certainly when it came to the play that SSK had. Made headway into mid, and that's how you control split.
Well, this is going to be competitive now, because finally Fabriken will be buying some actual weaponry, and straight away the 2-for-1 trade, positive, and positively good for Fabriken as well. Doesn't really matter that Zapan goes down. You have a player advantage now, and the 3 alive for PartyParrots isn't going to be doing too much more without another player being resurrected. It's too early for a resurrection, of course, with Artis not being quite nearly enough on the ultimate. And the big player to watch out now will actually be on Dinks. If he can make something happen on towards the back flank, he's made his way all the way to defend his spawn. If he can be the one to open up this defense, then suddenly PartyParrots are still in.
He seems that he's going to be pushing onto exactly where Leodeds is going to be holding. Isn't really aware, so that's an easy frag, and really there's no way for the Brimstone to respond on his defense. Latex can only do so much, but Meadow catches it completely off guard and is going to hunt for more. He knows that there's going to be a push in from the PartyParrots players. The spike is going to get planted, but the majority of survivors are going to be on Fabriken's side as they play for the retake, but they look nervous, jittery.
Well, that's because Shao actually has a showstopper available. He'll pull it out now, and this is where things get really getting misses it though, so you'll have a bit of a sigh of relief, but it's a brief sight, it's a brief pause. Shadow Lulz make this now a 1 versus 1. The timing from SSK, Shadow Lulz decided to pull out the orb, wanted to wall up, probably regret that decision now, as it'll be the round going over PartyParrots, and what should have been for Fabriken is now going to fade away. 3 rounds lost. Another eco force through. That's if they actually decide to eco here. They might actually try and force up some SMGs or something. But as we do see, it is the Sheriff and Light Armor purchase. Not going to have too much to work with in this particular round.
Disastrous start for Fabriken so far. It's, like you mentioned, going to be an awkward buy with awkward guns. PartyParrots just want to take this momentum with them, get as many rounds. They don't know when the tide is going to turn against them. So fortune is very much in their favor, but Zipan is wanting to put a stop to that if possible. A lot of utility being thrown out, so that's why it's passive, and Shadow Lulz is the first to get down from Dinks. That is all the way on A. More is being added as Leodeds goes down, Latex follows. It's all falling apart for Fabriken, but to be expected considering the guns they have available to them.
Yeah, I mean, Fabriken are probably just, you know, they're not patient enough here. They just want to make things happen. They just want to go in. They want to try and find these kills, swing onto members of PartyParrots. But really, you got to bait PartyParrots in. You got to let them come to you. You're playing with shotguns and sheriffs and stingers. How are you going to make this work unless PartyParrots come to you first? And now they've arrived to the party. They brought all the snacks and the drinks. And they've kicked Meadow out of his own house now. Just the 1 death there. Artist is the only casualty for PartyParrots, but otherwise looking smooth, looking comfortable. As Fabriken finally are able to purchase up some real weaponry. Shadow on towards the Sage will now have the Operator into his hands. No heavy armor, and probably very light on the utility as well.
For now, the PartyParrots are more peacocking than anything as they're taking a nice little lead. Ultimate's more available to Fabriken. They haven't had any available to them so far, so now they have the showstopper, which Zipan is itching to use, and if he can catch a multi-kill, he can turn the tide. Was leading in first bloods, but is quieting down certainly towards the start of the split site. Shadow with the Operator is pushed away, pushed against. SSK's chipping away at the raise, forced away, but only survived with 17 health. Has gone over to heal Mum to get brought back up.
I think Angel hit a running headshot there. He was full speed sprinting, strafing it to the side, and finds a headshot that lands through the wall. That's why he didn't kill Shadows over there, but does put him on critical HP. He heals back in, so he's okay. Angel will now lead the way forward. Has to try and respond to this somehow. He's not going to be able to. Shadows on now for a lot of damage dealt. He is doing a lot of work now in this particular round as Japan is going to finish things off. I believe that Fabriken will finally get one on towards the board, and PartyParrots just shall. Very unlikely to be able to continue playing.
Necessary play from Zipan did dedicate the showstopper, was the sort of pizzazz, I suppose, on top of that, but all Shadow Lulz did was put pressure on mid, got the kills, got the frags necessary with the Operator, and set up things nicely for his team. Still has to claw back a few rounds to make things even, but you can see the yellow tags at the top coming online now, so Resurrect is available for Fabriken for the first time today. As well as the Orbital Strike and the Neural Theft. Good to go, but there's still stuff coming online for PartyParrots. It's how they use it.
By the sounds of it, maybe for the first time in several official games now, Japan, the First Blood King will even get 2. He wants a lot more blood. 2 kills to start things out with. The Fabriken are off to the races now, as PartyParrots will struggle to maintain composure here with 3 members alive. They will probably do best to try and just stack together at some point and force a 3 versus 2 maybe towards A, unless they can read the situation properly somewhere else. Shao cannot make it out alive, and now just the 2 alive.
They're fully spread apart, couldn't be further away if they tried. It feels like Badinks is going to go on a long rotate. A minute left on the clock, so there is time for PartyParrots to get some stuff done. And this push from SSK might catch off Shadowlaws, especially if he's looking through the op scope. He's going to peek around the corner soon, incrementally. Pixel perfect, but nah, he just walks into the sight line. Biggs is the last alive with the spike. And Zapan is shown restraint, actually. I thought he'd be all the way down this side of the map.
Dinks does have 2.2k to work with. And the loss bonus here would make sure that he does have another buy, so perhaps off that basis he'll attempt at least a 1 versus 1. I think if you're Fabriken right now, you might want to consider hunting this last gun. You don't have a lot to work with in terms of info. The good news for Dinks is he is completely unknown, and the best chance of a kill he can find will be Zapan walking through. That is, unless Leo Dids peeks out first.
Seems that he's not going to go there. Zapan's peeking around now, hasn't spotted them, and they just miss each other. Two ships passing in the night. Does mean the Fabriken can tally up their lead at least. Leodids hasn't got off the mark just yet, but hasn't really had an amazing impact. But to be fair, Silver isn't used all that much on bind anyway. Maybe just the angles and the recon bolts don't really come up to too much effective use, at least. So understandable that would be the rotation of characters that we would see. But it feels like Fabriken aren't comfortable with this, that they prefer to be on a map where they can run this sageless composition, because people have struggled with it, truth be known. People really don't know how to deal with that much aggressive utility. But now that they're forced back, it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. Growing pains, it feels like.
Well, I mean, Fabriken have won the last 2 rounds in a row, so maybe they're growing into this one reasonably quick. Angel would consider teleporting in towards the ropes room, and thankfully no one's there to receive him, because otherwise he would be swiftly taken down. Dinks will now go back towards spawn, retrieve the spike, and they'll start making their way up mid. They have full control over mid. They have the ropes room. They have now attempting to gain control over towards Mail and B tower as well. Japan's backed out. Orbital strike being used. That might just be a bit of a bluff though, a bit of a fake. As we're heading into, rather that's actually coming from Fabriken, so never mind, it's Fabriken's own orbital strike to really stop PartyParrots from making movements in that direction.
That's a good Molotov though, as Latex is able to get a few more kills, know that there's more on the way. He's going to smoke himself off, and has Leodids there to help out. He's still relatively high on health, but Leodids is able to get a couple himself. Now it's just going to be up to Dinks, that was making his way around with the spike. Really good read from Fabriken there to spot that engagement. You were sort of a bit hesitant when you saw how much space they'd given up on mid, but they planned around it, they were prepared, and that's going to be another round going their way as they're starting to pull a few of these together now.
And Latex was the one that teed that golf ball up. Said 4. The orbital strike puts it down and then just strikes it, yeets it across the golf field, and we'll pick up a couple of kills, 4 kills overall for the Fabriken as PartyParrots. So once again, unable to really move the spike anywhere. Dinks is the last one alive, and he'll be the last one alive twice in a row holding onto a gun. And I'm surprised that PartyParrots went off the back of 1 orbital strike being used from the other side of the map, get cold feet about moving over towards B tower.
I feel that PartyParrots felt at least that they exploited Fabriken, pushed them away, and took that space towards rope room. It's like, okay, we can punish this, but it was ground that Fabriken gave away. Latex knew that it was open, that's why he kept such a keen eye on it. I think PartyParrots were a bit overconfident with the play that they had, thinking that Fabriken had no idea. They did, and they completely took you for a fool because of it. But this is another rather aggressive play towards mid, as Angel's creating a bit of space for himself with the Omen. Yet again, Fabriken taking a step back, reading the situation, and I think it's working out quite well.
Zapan and Leodids have a crossfire, sort of, they did anyway before Leodids decided to walk away. They'll now re-engage the potential of a crossfire over here, shower through the smoke. As it dissipates, we'll find his counterpart into Zapan. We talked about these 2 players competing for KDs. But he's Shell taking the better of it this time around. Not quite moving into the B tower just yet. That is going to be Rolling Thunder committed towards ropes,
that's
but
good.
it is a fake. And Meadow now will now be looking towards multiple players coming his way. They have seen that the spike was dropped in this general direction. Shell cannot be saved from the catching of the Rolling Thunder, as it will now be all of Fabriken moving towards the defender side and the plant to follow as well.
That was a hell of a bait with the Rolling Thunder. It pulled Leo Deads off heaven, which meant that it was complete open season for PartyParrots to blast on through. The Latex has to retake that ground, but it's going to be tough as Shell gets in the paint shell to do the last of the damage from a good amount of distance. Now it's just Leo Deads and Shadow Lols left alive that are still looking to try and catch people out at least, but this looks like it's going to be more suicide than anything.
Doesn't look very likely. This is where they would like to actually have the Rolling Thunder available. In fact, the Ace is even a possibility now. I don't think Shadow Lows goes through with this one. He's got a Resurrection, not a lot of health, and an Operator in hand. The weapon is too expensive. So unfortunately, Shao will not find his Ace in this particular map. No. Shadow Low is not going to survive either. So Dinks, well done. He's able to pick that one up. Doesn't find the Operator, doesn't pick it off the floor. Maybe he doesn't want it. Maybe PartyParrots don't actually want to work with an Operator on the offense. That is absolutely fine in terms of their decision-making, as 5 rounds will go their way now.
They just want to sort of run forward and frag. That might be because Shao is over on the raise. Isn't playing as passive as you would do with a Sova, a bit more defensive-orientated. When you're raised, it's just hold W and hope for the best and use your utility to get those frags. It's gone relatively well for PartyParrots. They're able to get the first round in 4. So this streak that Fabriken has been on has ended. And the majority of ultimates are still in PartyParrots' side. So you would expect them to sort of toll up a few more rounds at least. But Fabriken might have stuff to say about that.
Plenty of smokes invested early. You have to be careful though. Angel's not playing a Brim. He's only got 2 smokes to start with. And his third one will be coming on cooldown, or coming off cooldown, maybe a little while later. Shell once more into Zapan. It's not been Zapan's day in these Rays 1v1 so far, at least not in the last 2 rounds. Showstopper now. So of course a lot of people could just hide away, throws that one and somehow connects with Leo Diz. What a read coming through from Shao, and Artist will find the last bastion of defense over towards the B site. It will be completely open. Fabriken 2 alive here. Resurrection available, but it does not look like they want to move.
There's no way to sort of take it, but Angel is holding on to mid just in case there is a bit of a push. Latex is heading that way and finds the Operator on the ground. He's going to grab that, keep it, and take it towards Shadow. Shadow should still have an Operator if he wasn't involved in that engagement, if he was just looking down screens, but yeah, he's going to hold a pixel-perfect angle. It feels if anybody pushes alongside him. Doesn't need to worry if he dies, does. The Operator was picked up by Latex. He's going to just sort of chip away, but now he's just been hunted down by the multiple members of PartyParrots. Just got to chip away and dent at them. Latex is even going to add to that.
Oh my god.
Economy isn't looking as good, but there's no way for them. They maybe could have even gone for the defuse at this point.
I am flabbergasted what's happening here. Angel might get a kill. He doesn't. Can you believe that PartyParrots, or rather Fabriken, have been able to kill 4 members of PartyParrots, 3 to 4 members. I can't actually remember exactly how many, but a lot. A lot of PartyParrots died there, trying to hunt down the last 2 Operators, and they only got 1. They got 1 out of the hands of Fabriken. But Latex survives, and Shadow Lols will repurchase. So at the end of the day, despite not winning the round, that is huge economical damage in terms of just killing players. And, well, sure, PartyParrots still have a lot of money to work with, but they would have even more if they didn't have the rebuy.
Fabriken holding on now. PartyParrots will go even into halftime at least, but they want to extend on that. But that's great play from Shadow Lols to just hold his own, and Latex is able to respond. The double Operator player already showing dividends for this defense now. PartyParrots might want to consider punishing that in the future, but right now they're in a 3 versus 5. They have the Resurrect if they want to bring back a player. It seems that they might want to do that towards mid. Shadow Lols is going to punish that even more and gets even more kills.
Yeah, we'll see if the Showstopper is able to maybe change the mind of a few players right now. Well, certainly Zapan will be able to do that over towards Angel, stop the Resurrection from being effective. Zapan finally gets his revenge on Shao as well. It turns out when it's not in the opening engagement, in the opening frag, in the middle of the round, Zapan certainly has a much better chance. 4 to 6 now. Fabriken on their way to having a much more competitive first half. It was a potential for PartyParrots to start walking away with it. They got 6 on the board. 7 would mean they win, but now that the last 2 really seem to have opened up a little bit more for Fabriken, we can still see the possibility for a 6-6 finish.
This is a nice spot.
Most definitely. It's how PartyParrots punish this double operator play now. They don't have the executable smokes that Brimstone has available, which is a pretty solid counter. The Omen can only do so much, but it is Angel on that Omen, so that certainly adds a bit more of a score to that. But he's deciding to maybe just disappear entirely. He's going to use his ultimate to teleport to a certain side of the map, potentially, but it is looking to be an A execute. The smoke goes down right onto Shadow. He's trying to work out how he wants to play this. Throws down the slow. You can see where he...
Oh, he's committed! Oh! Actually got the kill of the Leo dead, who by the way was hiding in spawn the entire time. Leo, oh no, he spent his entire life. Shao taken down midair by Shadow, and this is... I don't even understand what's going on right now. This is ridiculous from Shadow. He might even get a 4th one. Dice versus Cave will be able to plant at least, but at 1v3, it's not going to be able to win it for him. He's not even going to be able to plant. And that is ridiculous from Fabriken.
That shot from Shadow to catch the jump in Shell was probably one of the nuttiest flick shots I've ever seen so far in Valorant. It was so important too that he was able to string together a few kills there. But of course, it's always funny to comically to see the blast packs just come out of nowhere and get the final kills in. So Zipan and Shadow Lols top fragging in the server, 11 kills apiece. And PartyParrots really are struggling to break this one down. This double operator play could be their end, and they're really struggling to certainly respond with big guns on their side too as the Bulldogs are out in play.
The bane of every Counter-Strike player falling victim to all the MOBA abilities in this game. Not Shadow Low's ult. He is able to find the picks that he requires. He gets smoked up this time, courtesy of Angel, who doesn't allow him to find any sort of purchase there. Dinks on a major flank. Could actually get a kill on the Shadow Lows if he realizes that he's all the way into ropes for him right now. In any case, Shadow Lows is for sure cornered here. But I don't think that Dinks has made any sort of movement to be able to catch this player.
He's going to flick up now. It's going to be bad timing. It's not looking. It's a flick shot, and that's a neural theft too. It's awkward on A now. There was 2 operators, and they were the only things that were holding, so this execute's going to come in thick and fast. Good flash coming out of Leo Dead's on the bridge, but Latex has a strong line to hold now, right here, to the point that the Omen is forced to teleport across, and Latex isn't sure whether he's there or not. He's just going to get chipped away by him, and the wall is going to put him out, and Shao with the operator this time is able to get the frag in onto Meadow.
And this time we are going to see the actual plant coming through the original position that was being hunted for by SSK earlier on. 3 alive now, all 3 trying to make their way through the screens, as Japan's going to be the first one to peek on through. Shao finds another victim. Japan does respond, but can he respond in a heavier fashion? He would love to have his ultimate right now. He desperately needs his teammate over towards heaven to assist him. Leo Dead will do just that. He'll find the kill. This is now workable. This could be really, really good. 1 alive, it's Shao. Shao gets to better as a pan, but not going to be doing too much more. Yep, this is it.
Each other.
Everyone's dead. Ryan, everyone died.
From beyond the grave, Shao was able to get that grenade in. It means that at halftime, PartyParrots have the lead in one of the craziest split rounds I've seen. Nobody wins. Nobody takes anything with them now as we swap over to halftime. Shao and Zipan, there's nothing to separate these players when it comes to frags other than the assists maybe that Zipan has available to him. And this is the important half. Very little to separate these 2 teams, but at the end of this half of split, we will have a winner and a finalist. Gold medals to give out to either Fabriken or PartyParrots.
You know what? We just discovered something in Valorant, because I've not seen this before, but if everyone is dead and the spike is planted, the game just says we're moving on. You don't get to be rewarded with seeing the spike explosion. There's no satisfaction being awarded to anybody. The game just says, we're going to the next round. So, a little bit of a letdown. That's okay, right? We'll move forward.
You just wanted to sort of sit and watch the spike eventually blow up.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's the best part. Isn't that what we're all here for?
You know it's coming, but that was certainly something. The pause is free, so we're now back, and I think it was Angel was having a bit of a problem. He was the one that was stood the most static. But it's the fact that that ultimate from Shao would have been nullified if he didn't use it then, because we're going into half time. So it's like, it was a real Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the cards moment, bringing out the rocket in the last second to clutch the win. He sacrificed himself
got
nobly.
that from the last kill. He didn't even have that to start with. He had to get the kill to get that showstopper.
That's the kind of play that you expect in a final. And I think even though Zipan and Shower, even on frags, I think Shower's been the brightest spark on this raise. I wish we got to see him more, but he's mostly been playing Silver. At least he has that sense of flexibility. The Cyber Cage is going to enable him to push onto the side, but the breach takes a little bit of damage. Luckily, again, they have the Sage this time. Fabriken, now famous for being Sageless for the most part, but it is going to be Shadowlaw's playing on there. And I think you could sense the awkwardness for Fabriken aren't used to that playstyle anymore, at least.
We're going to be hard heading over towards Heaven now. Leo Dens is going to have to just shake off the injuries from earlier. And oh my goodness, well, he'll be able to at least confirm a kill over towards Angel. It's 2-for-1 trade, not the best, unfortunately. 3-for-3 now. Leo Dens makes it a little bit more interesting. No plant to be confirmed yet. We need to start seeing a little bit of that, but not enough teammates to be able to assist Leo Dens, who, off the back of being tagged through the smoke, is still on the same 50 HP now.
The blast pack!
Somehow making 4 kills happen. 1 versus 1 is winnable for both ends, I gotta say. One shot from either player will decide this round again. Will it be Dinks or will it be Leo Dens? Leo's got the time in his favor. Dinks needs to try and discover the position straight away, and oh my goodness, the ace confirmed. Headshot as well, didn't even need it. 20-something HP was what Dinks had. Just a body shot would have been suffice there. But Leo Dens on 50 HP will get 5 kills.
The ace, what a beautiful ace. And I think that was from Fabriken molding from how the previous round went, that Leo Dens was able to get so much done. I can't imagine what the comms would be like for that team right then. Some crazy play, and it's just those micro engagements. Fabriken struggled with them. You know, the retakes holding him off, trying to defuse the spike when needed. That's where PartyParrots were winning those engagements and having the advantage there, but now it feels like they've risen to the occasion a little bit more. And even in this best of 3, 1-1, there's still so little to separate these two teams.
Leo Dens is only 1 off his ultimate right now. He planted, got 5 kills, so he's 6 out of 7. If he was playing any other character, he would actually have his ultimate right now by the 2nd round. That's almost unheard of. You never see an ace on the pistol. At least not at this level. It's such a rare occurrence. And Fabriken right now, when they can steal an orb or just feed 1 more kill over. He doesn't want to use his ultimate this round, obviously. They're just going up against PartyParrots who are on an eco, but he'll want to have that a little bit later on. Look at this, though. Trying to ferry over the spike. Thankfully, Meadow doesn't make his way through mid. If Meadow tries to go up through mid, he would have been timing pushed by all the PartyParrots and they would have dropped that spike. But now, a full-on 5v5 retake situation, and Latex will find 2 to open up.
Look back at the right time. They really weren't sure where PartyParrots were playing, and it was a very pseudo play style. Even now, you've got Artist flanking behind where Zipan is towards B. He's going to run into him right now. Doesn't peek him. He's right on this corner. He's not looking, but he misses the classic shots and narrowly takes him out. Could upgrade the gun at least. We'd say damage is done for PartyParrots, and we go to 7-0 unless SSK pulls something brilliant out of his back pocket.
Might try and push this one harder. We'll use this opportunity to walk in and get 1 more kill. Paved, unfortunately, with the death of SSK. 1v3 situation. He's not going to go for the retake, but he'll try and get out with his life if possible. He doesn't want to have to rebuy. Someone might push him now as Fabriken are kind of just on the other side of this wall. 6 seconds left. Artist might push this. It could be very awkward. He's shooting. He reveals his position and realizes there's 3 people there. Get the hell out.
In Frag's watch between Shao and Zipan, still even. I think either of them really had impact over the last 2 rounds. I was mostly looking at Leo Dens, who I was critical of before, because he has been playing Silver all day. When he moved over to the Breach, he didn't really get to do all that much, but that ace has shut me right up at least. Angel's the only one that's having a bit of a quiet game so far if we're looking at just frags, but You've got to say that these Omen smokes have been pretty good from so far, and it's forced Latex out with a Paranoia, and he's going to get double peeked now. Actually, brilliant play from there, from the setup. Angel gets the frags. It means that it's now 3 versus 2.
Yep, and now we just wait for the timer to play this one out. I was going to say Artis could even wait for the plant to come in through. He doesn't care about it. He's going to just converge on the last 2 guys alive. And this is going to be a major cleanup. Angel set that one up. And look, he maybe doesn't get the kills here. He's not going to be the one that's high up on the KD feed. But that paranoia is what allowed the rest of PartyParrots to be able to win towards B main. And now they'll be able to take the lead once again, 8-7.
Certainly been one of the more exciting games that I've casted. There's trading rounds now, it feels. We're trading a couple of rounds each way, as you see in the middle of your screen. This is going to be a heavy B-stack execute, which is a bit dicey, actually, but catching off Angel, who pushes a bit more aggressively, means that they have a way in. But they need to be careful of Heaven. If you don't take mid-control when pushing B, it could be a nightmare, but currently Zipan is the monster in underneath your bed. He's getting the frags and easing in.
This is the exact opposite of what we saw earlier on. Angel set up the most beautiful B defense, aggressive defense, I should probably say. Best defense sometimes is an offense. And this time he just dry peeks into 5 people. Instantly slapped out. Also onto B. You had over here Dinks, who achieved nothing, sadly, as well. So this will just now be a save from PartyParrots. 3 versus 5. No entry on towards B. No attempt either. They just want to maintain their rifles, maintain their equipment, walk into the next round, and Fabriken will tie us up 8-8.
Well, straightforward. They just got 2 frags entered onto the site, and PartyParrots are willing to give that up. I think that's the kind of game that it's been. It's just, all right, you got the uppercut on us there. We're willing to give that round up. We'll just go again next. But, man, you've got to say that this is... It's still hard to say who's going to sort of pip who at the post. I think the defense advantage is going to play nicely for PartyParrots, but then again, the majority of rounds that they got were on the attack, right? It was very little to tell between the 2 sides. And Fabriken's broken that deadlock, Zipan, sorry, broken that deadlock against Shell. But it's everybody else showing up on that team that's setting up plays. Now it's a full A execute, trying to cause a bit of whiplash from side to side for PartyParrots. But I feel they're going to be set up, especially with Dinks having the operator towards screens.
Oh no, look at what happened over towards B, by the way. Angel was like, okay, I got punished last time. I'm not going to dry peek that. He smokes over towards the entrance of B main. They then double peek it with the paranoia, and as it's happening, the A hit has been executed. Full smoke's coming on through. PartyParrots just being patient. They'll allow the plant to happen. They'll have to play for a proper retake now. 5 versus 5. Let's see what kind of util you have, because they do not have a flash anymore.
I've been pushed a bit by the breach flash. Shadow Loss is actually hiding in this smoke. This could be a crazy play if they don't check it. There's 3 people there. He just needs to flank in and get the spray. You can even tell because Raze is trying to take the attention, baiting. I'm on site. I'm for grenades. You can't kill me. This is so much space that Shadow Loss is able to make, and the spray is good. Now it's just going to be Dinks with the operator left. Leodetz is going to be able to hold him off with the 2 other surviving members of Fabriken. He's going to skedaddle out of there. Amazing play from Fabriken to hold off PartyParrots.
And they just rolled the dice correctly here in terms of where they're going to be pushing, and unfortunately for Angel, he made the wrong choice. He bet on the wrong color this time around on the roulette table. And Dinks will be lucky to get out with his life. He does. She'll take the operator into that next round. Fabriken come up big now. 4 rounds their way for this half. It's a 4-1 half so far. This has been a great attack so far for Fabriken, and we talked about the fact that maybe they were going to be a better attacking team. Certainly with 3 successful plants and 3 successful explodes there as well. It's looking that way. Angel, hopefully luck is going to be on his side today for this particular round. But as we can see that Fabriken are moving towards A, it's not going to be the case.
Dinks is going to take an aggressive peek with the operator. The
poor
flash
Angel.
is good, but it misses off timing. The camera is going to show up their positioning though. The tag did miss. So his positioning not giving up entirely, but he is going to give it a bit more space. Even the stim packs used, but the Rolling Thunder is now used on both sides. Coming across the site, Zipan's going to be hit, and both sides are trading. SSK gets first blood, but Latex takes him out. And now even the orbital strike used on the the attack, I think, to sort of create a bit of space for Latex to work with, but the spike has been planted. In fact, it's heading up towards ramp. What's this? Like, PartyParrots are moving away. They're rotating.
No, PartyParrots think that this might be a reset from Fabriken because they slowed down. They've gone dark now. They've not revealed any more information. In fact, I don't even know if the camera saw anybody. The camera might have seen something. I would say not, because Show's still over towards B. Show's in the middle of nowhere right now. To be fair, Fabriken have not actually committed over towards A. They're still hanging out towards main. They'll now make the push over. And this is where Show's got to get a move on. Show has to start sprinting now, otherwise he's going to be late.
Oh, and Angel saves the day, gets the triple kill. He's been very up and down these past few rounds, but it does mean that yet again it's 9-0. There's so little to break him apart. Shower's been relatively quiet though on this defense. Hasn't got a kill in this half, I don't believe, since I've certainly been paying more attention to those kills. But Zipan's only got 2. This has mostly been Angel bumping up the back and everybody in PartyParrots playing their role and playing it well. The operators are still going to be involved from both sides. Actually, no, Shadowless is deciding against it. It's just going to rifle it up.
Okay.
And right now, Fabriken is just full force in these sites. There's no splits. They're just full force.
Well, I mean, there's a minor split here. You do have a little bit of a lurk from Mero, but he'll be making his way over. And finally, Angel will have someone pushing him again. He's been waiting for this moment. He saved his paranoia. Smoked up. Doesn't deter the push from Fabriken moving into B main. Second smoke towards mid as well. Mid is fairly locked down, but it's B that we need to start paying attention to. Thinks we'll see it, and the paranoia is perfect. Absolutely what PartyParrots needed. And they have stopped up this push. They've stopped up so much. Fabriken are resetting. They've gone dark now, and they have exited B.
The paranoia in the cage just means that there's no chance for refrag coming in from Fabriken. So that operator from Diggs is still in play. Even then, the Resurrect is available. So this is more of a 6 versus 4 now in favor of PartyParrots. Fabriken are very much gravitated towards each other than the satellite, which is Meadow moving all the way around to A on his own. Trying to lurk, but look how close Artis is holding. They don't know he's there, but he knows roughly where they are, so he's going to start to peek out and catch his Shadow Laws as he tries to get away. Running in the opposite direction, but no, Leo Dents is like, hello, pops his head up, and Shout kills Latex at the same time.
Come on, Artis, you have to expect that that's going to happen. Why do you have your knife out? Aim towards the rope. Someone might pop through. You have to think about that situation. At least SSK is in position to stop any potential plant from coming on through. Quick note here, Ryan, by the way. I actually think Dinks using the Cyber Cage ruined their opportunity to get a spray down. The paranoia, again, was perfect. It caught everybody in towards B main.
This goes here.
We were looking at Angel with the possibility of spraying everybody down. Dink could have got another shot with the operator as well. They just needed to hold that position with the paranoia, and they would have gotten a ton of kills. So the Cyber Cage actually allowed Fabriken to move out of B over towards mid.
Who will see better, Amir?
Great movements by Artis as well to catch the flanking members. Shadowlords killed on rotation. We're now 10-9 as PartyParrots successfully defend.
Fabriken now looking a bit more spread out. They're going to aggressively push onto Latex, and that's spike control. I don't think Angel spotted it drop, or at least it was hidden away in the corner, nested away, so it was protected from that intel.
I mean, there's a notification. If you kill the spike carrier, it'll just say the spike carrier died, so you don't need to see it, I think. So that's enough information. The problem is, though, even though you know you dropped the spike, it's not committed anywhere, so it can still be taken anywhere on the map.
Yet, Fabriken are still on mid, so they are very indecisive about the last 3 members and where they're going to go up against the full 5 stack. It's a nice kill onto Dinks, though. The operator is out of play, and they're going to still push in that direction where there's 2 gladiators still holding onto that side of the gauntlet. Angel sitting back a little bit, but that Neural 50 is going to clear up exactly where Artist is. Tries to give away their position, but Zipan just forces it. The Boombot's actually going to get the kill onto Angel. He was not expecting that to happen, and suddenly Fabriken have pulled this back to a 3 versus 2.
Angel will be upset with that one for sure. If the Boombot didn't spot him, he was in position to get a lot more kills. Shao's going to make up for that mistake, though. Shao in position to get 3, and he'll be able to complete the triple to maintain the fact that PartyParrots have taken a lead here, 11-9. Doesn't pick up the operator. It doesn't matter. Dinks can afford it. And PartyParrots now offer to a very good position Fabriken, look at their money. It's not good. We're into a force buy here. They bought the 0. Some of them don't even have full armor. This is a very rough position for Fabriken to be on this offense.
This is going down to the wire, and most importantly, PartyParrots didn't have to use too much when it came to ultimates. The showstopper's available, and Shao, I think, is going to play super aggressive. This has been working out really well for PartyParrots since they've been using it. Peaks have been good, even if it just grabs the intel. Okay, they're not on B. They must be on A or mid. We see Angel move over to respond to that. It's going to peek out in a second, but might be cut out. He doesn't realize somebody's gone through already. Spray down's in, but he still gets the kill on the Shadow Lulls.
Double showstopper through. The Rockets connect barely. Zapan and Shao get 1 kill each, but it's Zapan that will get the kill onto Shao. Most importantly, Spike has been dropped on the floor as well. 3 versus 3 situation, resurrection available, but Artist needs to find a body. He needs to find a way to get out of the situation. Back to his teammates. Dinks will be good for another one here as well. And suddenly Fabriken are in a position where Meadow was alone. He's unprotected. He has no chance of winning without getting those kills. And 12-9 now, as Fabriken will force. This is the nightmare scenario, and this could be the final round. This could be it. This could be where PartyParrots finally win. They dropped the first map. They had to come back strong onto Bind. They come back even stronger onto Split, and Fabriken are backs against the wall.
With Stingers, with Spectres, even a classic for Meadow, it's hold on for dear life. You have to resurrect. That's all you're going to have available to you, other than maybe the Rolling Thunder on this attack. Match point, tournament point for PartyParrots, and Artist is going to take this very slowly, walling up mid. And Fabriken are trying to decide how they want to approach this, because these last few rounds have not gone well for them. They're still going to trudge up mid, and Artist is going to give them all the respect in the world. No false moves, no mistakes. Just play this right, and they've got it.
Perfection will be required from Fabriken right now. It's not just this round, Ryan. It's every other round for this particular half. They need to win 4 in a row. 3 to make it to the OT, and 4th to make sure they win that OT. And this has been a pretty rough half for them in general. Even. Look, the whole game's been even. They need to be pulling ahead right now. And Dink's opening shot. This could be the signal, the omen of the end. Look at this angle for Artist as well. He can find a rocket here. He'll get the first one. Sprays onto the second. Angel collects it. He'll get 2 instead. 1 alive right now. That's been the last player, Shadow Lulls. It's the Sage we've been waiting for. No resurrection. The Sageless team will pick up the Sage.